Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hi. Whoa. Hello. I did not know YouTube had filters on the live. I'm gonna play around with these. Oops. This is interesting. Maybe no filter. Hello. Hello, hello. It's been a. How long has it been since my last video? I think it's been like 2 weeks since we fought each other. I think that was 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. Okay. What was I gonna say? Oh, okay. So today I wanted to come live because I don't know if you guys saw my community posts, but I'm gonna talk about that later. I wanted to come on live because if you read the title of this video, I wanted to answer a question that people don't really necessarily talk about often, or maybe they do, I just don't see it. But what do you do when you have your desires or your manifestation happened? How do you adjust to this new reality? So you did all the work and you've manifested, you've affirmed, you visualized, and now your desire is here. What do you do to stay or adjust to this new reality? Honestly, you do exactly what you've been doing in your visualizations, in your affirmations. You act and be the person every single day that has a desire. A lot of what you did beforehand to reach your desire or manifestation, that was like practice for when it actually did happen. So now, as normal, you continue that, but in real life. Rather than it be just in your head, you just act that way in real life with your person or with the money or with the house. You use what you've done internally now in the 3D. A lot of people get scared for some reason. They're like, oh my God, I've been visualizing and affirming for so long, and now that it actually happened, I don't know what to do. Well, you do what you've always been doing internally. People get scared that, well, now that I have it, will it disappear or will it go away? Not really, not unless you keep entertaining that idea, then it won't. Um, all that matters is really you staying in the wish fulfilled for the entirety of your desire or for your manifestation. There is absolutely no reason why your manifestation will automatically or somehow get erased from your reality unless you don't entertain those ideas. But I do get it. When you get your desire, there is that kind of maybe anxiety. I don't know if that's the right word, but fear that you might lose it because some people have had it on a pedestal for such a long time that now when it's here and it's in your face, you're like, oh my God, I don't want to. It's like when you get a new phone or like when you get something that's very valuable, that's very expensive. You're kind of like, oh my God, I don't want to touch it because I don't want to break it. And then once you start interacting more and more with that specific thing, you realize, oh, it's just whatever and it's normal. Like when you get a new phone, you're so careful with it. You don't want to drop it. You don't want to like put your dirty fingers on it. But then after a while of you using it, it's kind of like it's normal. It's normal. It's like it's your everyday. And I want you to start thinking of your desires in that same regard. That way it doesn't seem so scary. Oh, thank you. Hello. Um, when you first started to get the hang of manifesting, did you ever check the 3D sometimes and still get what you wanted? Yeah, I did. Because I knew that the type of checking I was doing was I was coming from looking out into the 3D because I was expecting it to happen. So it's almost as if, when you order something off Amazon and 100% for sure that it's coming to your house. So you go outside to look for the truck because it's coming, it's inevitable, you've paid your money, so now it has to show up. I would look into the 3D with that mindset. Some people, they go wrong because they look at the 3D like they're doubting, so they have to check. That's not where I was coming from when I was checking the 3D. I was more so coming from the mindset, well, every single day at like 4 p.m. the ice cream truck comes around this area, so let me just go outside because I know he's gonna be here, rather than I don't know if he's gonna come, or I don't know if the ice cream truck is gonna come, so let me just go outside just to make sure in case. It's more, the second one is more wavering, more doubting, and you're checking because you're doubting. Whereas the first one, you're checking because you know that it's inevitable. So when I was first starting out, I realized this very quickly into my journey, and so I would check the 3D almost all the time, but the mind frame behind how I would check was very different than how most people do it now. And that's kind of like a life hack that I give my clients. That's why coaching is very good. A lot of my clients get a lot of success with coaching, so that's the appeal. You don't need coaching, honestly. If you just did everything that's on my channel, you don't need coaching. But for people who want like the extra helping hand, I think coaching is a very good start. Speaking of coaching, if you guys read my community tab, I want you guys to know that I now have a website, conjuredrealm.com. And so there I have my services, I have my phone coaching, I have my emails, I have my packages listed. So if you are ever interested in booking with me, you can go directly to my website, conjuredrealm.com, and you can book. It allows you to book time, a date. Yeah, it's a super comfortable. I know some people don't always want to go through email, and no one told me directly that, but I was thinking, I should make it more easier for people to book with me rather than just do email. By all means, if you still have my email and you want to book through me that way, you're still welcome to do that. I don't mind. But just know you also now have my website, conjuredrealm.com. Hello. Yeah, and I feel like when you start checking the 3D with the knowing that I'm checking because I'm expecting it, rather than I'm checking because I'm doubting, you get a lot better results that way. And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people think that if you check the 3D automatically you're coming from lack. Well, that's not necessarily always my intention. But I could see how that can get kind of confusing. Also, I wanted to answer some of the questions from a different community tab that you guys had. Comments that you guys left me. One moment, please. Okay, so I got a question about being debt free. Um, I always love coaching people about money because money is very um like a fun topic for me to talk about money and coaching people regarding money, because I was that person who for a long time I didn't have like a lot of money. Like my parents didn't come from being super rich. My parents are immigrants and they gave me, my siblings, like a good life, obviously, but there were times where we had to be very frugal. And growing up with the mentality, it teaches you to become frugal, that money doesn't always come on money doesn't always grow on trees, or like you have to work hard and stuff like that, especially like immigrant parents from the Caribbeans. There, that is like so heavily ingrained into you as a child, that I can sympathize with people who have that mindset, that come to me for like money stuff. So trust me, if I could learn to unlearn all the stuff I was taught about money, you can do it too. 100% you can do it too. How do you keep yourself motivated when you are manifesting money, but your bank account is dwindling? I take a lot of, I guess, inspiration from my own past results. I've seen what I've done in the past. I've seen what being focused can lead me to get, and it helps me stay on top of my thoughts. It helps me um, persist, knowing that if I do XYZ, then I'm gonna get this result. I just take a lot of experiences that I've had in my past, and that a lot of the times gives me the reassurance to just stay in the wish fulfilled. And I always have to remind myself this is temporary, it's not going to stay long. You've gotten this result and that result doing it this way, so why wouldn't it happen again for this desire? Yeah, it's so interesting. Very interesting how different regions of the country are taught just different things, like money, or like people, or like cultures are taught differently regarding abundance and wealth and stuff like that. Was it the easiest thing in the world? In the beginning, not really, because my mind was so like ingrained in all these beliefs that were not favorable about money and wealth, that when I started reading these books about how money is just energy and how money is easy to receive and to make, it was kind of not something so easy to accept. But then the more I started practicing, the more I started using the law and seeing my own results happen, those beliefs started to die more and more every day. I've been affirming for self-concept over just over a month and nothing's really changed. I don't know why. What is it exactly about your self-concept you're trying to change? Like for relationships or money or what? Hello. Oh, let me answer some of these. I got a question. Um, Someone left about manifesting people acting a certain way and forgetting about their free will. So, free will is another topic I get asked a lot. I personally don't believe people have free will. I think people are just a reflection of the assumptions and beliefs that are accumulated within your brain. So it's almost like a script that people are using outside of you. So everyone is you pushed out. I think people don't have free will. I think people have their own identity, yes, but in terms of when they are interacting with you, I feel like it's one big giant movie set when you're around, or when you're in focus of said individual or people. And that to me is, well, I've been doing this all my life without knowing about it. So now that I know about it, I can just do it a lot easier in ways that benefit me. There are coaches who don't like that idea, because they think that coaches are assuming everyone's a puppet, but that's not really the case. I feel like if you know the law and you've studied what it means to have assumptions and to have like thoughts already being portrayed outside of you, you know that a person a person acting the way you expect them is kind of like it goes hand in hand with everything else you're manifesting. It's like it's literally no different. I mean, before you knew about manifesting, you were doing that anyways. You were controlling everyone around you. You just didn't know it based off your assumptions. It doesn't change just because now you're privy to that information. If everything is our manifestation, if something bad happens to people around us, or the way people act, is that our fault? Like if something happens to my neighbor even, I wouldn't necessarily say that it's your fault, especially if you're not focused on anything negative happening. If you can really find within yourself that you don't have a reason for something like that to happen, like for example, if randomly your neighbor comes to you and they tell you, well, my house flooded, I don't really think that's your fault, especially if you don't have an assumption about, I don't know, like their house being flooded or something. I don't really think that's your fault. To me, the way I see it is there are infinite realities. People just so happen to occupy the ones where those things are already happening. If you know you don't have a specific assumption about a person or a place or a thing or a situation, they're just going through the realities that already exist. And it just so happens that they're coming into contact with those realities that are already here. Would you say people should have in mind that although the reflection is inevitable, it's not our job to know when that reflection will happen? Yes and no. I think for the most part, um, yes. But the reason why it's no is because when you are manifesting anything, you always have to come from the assumption that it's here right now. You always have to come from the assumption that it's here immediately. Because just like a mirror, when you stand in front of a mirror, the reflection is immediate. There's no waiting, there's no time lag, there's nothing for you to wait and sit around for. But there are instances where the 3D shows you something that's not favorable, and it can help to know that what's happening currently is not your business or your your job to know why it's here. I want to give a very long answer, but I feel like the answer I want to give is just going to confuse people, especially with the people who come into my channel. I don't want to give my extensive answer because it would make sense more for people who watch like Esther Hicks. And I always refrain from giving those long explanations because I try to make everything as simple as possible. But for the most part, to answer your question, all in all, I would say just don't focus when something will happen. Just focus mainly on being satisfied with the fact that it already happened internally. Hi. A coach said to me, you want a relationship with your famous SP, but you cannot see movement. You only know him online. You have to meet him or manifest conversations with him. You are a stranger to him. S Rose, could you clarify your question? Because it seemed like you just gave me statements. I have a question. Have you reacted to 3D? And if so, how did you handle the situation? There are times where I do slip up and I do react to the 3D, but I try to remind myself and I cut that time very, very short. So before, where I didn't know about conscious creation, I would just react constantly to little things and stay within that energy field for like hours at a time. Now it's down to a few minutes because I know where my attention goes, energy flows. So just to prevent any further damage, I take my attention away from those things and I don't react as long as I used to. But there are times where I'll slip up, but because the time is so much shorter, it doesn't cause any negative reaction in my 3D. I've been trying to manifest different things, like appearance change and money and an iPad. Dell. So, what affirmations have you been saying for these desires? Hopefully, you're coming from the mindset that you already have them now. Hello. How would you go about manifesting contact from someone after 8 years? Curious about your approach. So one, I would acknowledge that time means absolutely nothing. 20 years could have passed and you could still manifest them in no problem. Secondly, I understand when it comes to contacting SPs, because we live under one consciousness, the second you start thinking about them, they're also thinking about you. So that just gives me verification that it's instant. There's no like, oh, I want to manifest for this person, but I might hear from them in a couple days. Actually, the second you start affirming for an SP, they're already thinking about you. They're already getting past memories of you. They're already getting thoughts of you. They're already getting an inkling that they want to get to talk to you back again into your life. And thirdly, I would make affirmations that basically imply that we're already speaking, that we're already back in each other's lives, that we're back talking to each other, almost as if that time frame never happened. And as you continue to dwell in that reality, you'll notice that the 3D will conform like a mirror to everything you've been internally focusing on. So you'll probably meet them at a grocery store. They'll contact you through Facebook. A friend of a friend might give them word that they're looking for you, etc., etc. If someone is getting afraid that their affirmations is not working for them, they're working for a third party. So what do we need to do? If someone is getting afraid that their affirmations is not working for them, they are working for a third party. So what do we need to do? This kind of smells like someone being too 3D oriented. If I can be really honest with you guys, affirmations is not what manifests. It's literally the state that you're occupying that manifests. And if you're saying that the affirmations you're using is not working, that's because you're occupying the state of I'm saying something and I'm not getting a result. AKA you're looking for something. So that could be why you're being shown that it's not working. You need to come into the decision that what you are saying is working for it to reflect. If you come at it from an angle of fear and from an angle of I need to do this to get that, then it's not going to work because you're basically trying to get something in a world that that plays a game where you have to become something for it to reflect back, if that makes sense. She says manifestation is only possible if we know people in person. Wrong. An ex, a family member, a friend. Otherwise, you cannot see manifestation is happening. Um, uh, the second one is kind of. A lot of the times you won't see manifestation happening only because there are a lot of things in the background that occur for your desire to happen. So that part I can kind of agree with. But the part where you have to know someone to manifest them, that's not right. I've manifested people so many times into my life that I knew nothing about when I needed someone. And it's always happened. So you don't need to know the person to manifest them. Yes, to me, it sounds very limiting. I don't know what coach that is, but it sounds super, super limiting. I always tell people, like, if you're getting coached by someone that's putting you in any kind of box, it doesn't matter what box it is, any restraints, you feel like there's limiting aspects to what they're saying, I would not hold a lot of what they're teaching to be certain or the truth, because they're basically teaching you from their experience. I like to teach people from a limitless mindset, almost like a bird outside of a cage. So when I hear these people trying to teach you things or with all these restraints and all these rules and all these like other things, to me it becomes too much and I kind of just let that go. Yeah. People who are limiting like that are, and also that should just speak for who they are. If you think something as easy as that, like why would you anyways. Why you didn't answer my question? I just wanted to know because I'm scared if I answer. Elizabeth, let me see. Did I skip her question? Um, Elizabeth, hi. I have a question. Have you reacted to the? I did answer your question. I did, and I said that um, I used to react a lot to the 3D, but not so much anymore because I know that where attention goes, energy flows. So I now have learned to minimize the amount of time that I stay in a negative reaction just to avoid damage. What does working on self concept actually means? I know I am worthy and deserving, and I don't have to settle for less. What else self concept means? This sometimes gets limiting when people say just work on self concept. Well, self concept basically means how you see yourself in regards to, um, I don't know, when it comes to love or when it comes to money or when it comes to relationships. You have a way that you view yourself in regards to these things. So a self concept and money would be like for me, for example, I see money as infinite. I see money as easy. I see money as something that I can get anytime I want or anytime I need it effortlessly. That's my self concept when it comes to money. If you have anything limiting to any of those categories, that will have to pertain to your self concept. So, self concept is not an umbrella term, although it can be, but self concept basically means the way you see yourself in terms of love, money, relationships, people. I've been using affirmations, for example. Why do I have so much money? And why did I get sent this amount of money? And why do I look exactly like this person? Affirmations are really good. I really like them. I've gotten a lot of success with them because it has to do with like the brain is a problem solver. So when you give an affirmation in the form of an affirmation, it's almost hard for something negative to come up in your mind when you're asking a question as if it has already happened. So they're kind of like a really good tool to use if you find that when you're affirming something, random negative things pop up in your mind. But what I affirmed for me is manifested for a third party in my SP. So what should I do? So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to pretend like third party is not even here. The reason why the third party is still here is because you keep giving it attention. You keep giving that person screen time. You keep giving that person a script in your story. That's why they have to keep playing out these things. If you were just to focus honestly on just you and how you're always chosen, how you're prioritized, how you're pursued, and just stop thinking about the third party and how your SPs with the third party and all this other stuff regarding the third party, they would dissolve out of your life. When in doubt, honestly, if you're in a situation with any sort of like third party or anything like that, just focus on you and everything else will dissolve. I think that's like the biggest life hack. One second, guys. Should we detach our manifesting and let it go? No, you don't have to. You just have to let go of the need for it. Be satisfied with you already having it in your imagination and let go of needing it and seeing evidence that it's here. You can give that to yourself right now in your thoughts. Thank you. What are your favorite general self-concept affirmations? General, the ones I've given already, like I'm prioritized, I'm pursued, I'm irresistible, I'm always chosen, I'm everyone's favorite person. People love me for me, people love everything about me. Yeah, I don't have too many because a lot of the ones I give or use are like blanket affirmations, so they cover a wide spectrum of things. Is state like saying or deciding I have this or I am this? Yes. Also, thank you for answering my question. You're welcome. Yeah, state's is basically just deciding something and living your life as if you have it right now. I have manifested things and I still get like, am I making myself stupid? It gets scary. I just need to push from, I think. I really like 10%. Oh, okay. Let me see if I can help you. I have manifested things and I still get like, am I making myself stupid? It gets scary. I just need to push from you, I think. Priyal, can you reword your question? Because I'm not understanding. What is the end result that you're trying to get? Oh, thank you. I love you guys too. I struggle with manifest appearance changes. Help, please. First of all, you need to stop Um, Stop saying you're struggling with appearance changes. Moving forward, you should never say that ever again, because that's obviously what's happening. And then, second of all, I want you to see yourself as the ideal version internally. Maybe not so much in the mirror. I want you to do it all internally in your imagination. See yourself as that person you want to be right now, in your head, in your thoughts. And anything that triggers you, so like looking in the mirror and picking yourself apart, I want you to stop doing that. I want you to stop comparing yourself to other people, because if you had it right now, you would not be doing any of that. So live your life as if it's here right now. And anytime you need validation, you go in your thoughts, in your imagination, and see it there. Give it to yourself there. And then the more you do this, you're going to start noticing, if I look in the mirror and I don't see what I want, it doesn't really matter, because internally I have it right now. So as long as I live this way, it has no choice but in the 3D to conform anyways. It's like a byproduct. I was answering someone's question earlier in my emails, and it's like the fries to your burger, right? When you order a burger, it has no other choice but to come with fries. So once you change within, it has no other choice but to happen outside of you. Thank you. Do you have affirmations for manifesting abilities? I used to use one where I would say I become better and better at manifesting every single day. Every single day, I'm seeing evidence of my ability to manifest becoming better, or I'm a master at manifesting. Those are really, really good ones. Oh, okay. Okay, okay, okay. It depends. What abilities are you trying to manifest? Like I have this one girl who she's the psychic, and she wanted to manifest for her clairvoyant abilities to become stronger, or her clairaudience or claircognizance to become stronger, or her mediumship to become better. And so based off what it is that you want to improve, like for example for her, I would tell her to say something along the lines of, my mediumship abilities are strengthening every single day. I'm becoming more and more sensitive to psychic energy. People are always recognizing how much better I'm getting at being a psychic, etc., etc. My main goal is to manifest my own business ASAP. Any professional insight tips? Um, so for one, I'm gonna, just a manifesting standpoint, I'm gonna say start affirming that you always get the most amazing ideas regarding your business. That's one. I don't know if you want to do social media or not, but some affirmations that I use is that I always come up with video topic ideas that people want to listen to. If you're trying to manifest like people coming to your business, use the affirmation that people love everything or how you teach things. People love the work that you do. People love coming to you and paying you. That's a really good one. Okay, so I have manifested things, but like my logic mind is coming up lately. I don't know how to calm it down. So logic. So basically you want to diminish logic. A lot of the times I always tell people this is mostly remedied by you actually practicing manifestation, by you actually having desires under your belt that you've been manifesting. So going back to like the beginning, right? I tell people manifest things that are small, that are meaningless, that are easy to do. That way, in days where you feel like nothing's happening, you have other things that you've manifested that can give you comfort and build your confidence, like a blue elephant or a green tiger or a red giraffe, right? These things you practice doing every single day so you can understand that I am doing this. Things are happening because of me. I'm getting the desires I want because I said so, right? And the more you practice doing that, the less your logic mind can really fight you on it. And so you quiet down that logic mind and you're able to fully understand and be like self calm yourself to know that you are doing this, you're manifesting, and you have proof that it's happened. I manifested a free flu shot today. Oh, congrats. Yeah, I do manifestations for like everyday small things all the time, which is amazing. France, hello, hello, thank you. Can you name a state for edit? Can I name a state? Florida. How do you manifest healing in those battling addictions? It'd be the same way you manifest anything else. So if someone was like battling alcoholism, you would say, I'm so happy I no longer crave blank alcohol, or smoking. I'm so happy I no longer crave whatever it is that people smoke, cigarettes or weed or whatever. I find that when it comes to addictions, a lot of the things that work for people is basically like using affirmations that involve gratitude. It basically is you coming from the assumption that your addiction is gone, you're happy that it's no longer something you deal with, and yeah, you have immense gratitude for this new person that you are. By the way, guys, for the new people that are just now in here, um, I have open slots. If you want to book coaching, I do have my website now, conjuredrealm.com. You can book there. My coaching services are listed. I have my packages, I have my emails, I have my phone coaching through Zoom. So if you are interested in coaching, please go on my website, conjuredrealm.com. My website allows you to book like times, dates that are more convenient to you. You can even book like in advance. Like if you want to have a session for like next week, you can pick the date and time that's convenient and you can have that appointment set up if today or like tomorrow is not like a convenient time for you. Last year, I affirmed for SP to ask me to move to her state. After 2 months, she randomly texts pics of family and then said, now all I need is for you to be here. Then dead silence as far as that topic goes. I would just keep persisting with the affirmations. Don't get let down by what they stop doing. Just keep affirming that you have constant communication, you and SP are together, you guys have a harmonious relationship, etc. You just don't want to give too much attention to like the things you don't want because you're gonna accidentally grow that more. So give more attention to the fact that everything's perfect, everything is going well, everything is going smooth, and you're gonna see things start to turn around. Hello. Tips on manifesting a new job. There's no specific job that I want. All I have is certain requirements for. I don't know how that kind of job would come to me. So the good thing is you don't have to know how the job's gonna come to you. You can just affirm that you're so happy that this is the affirmation I would use. I'm so happy that I got a job with blank 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 requirements. And then you would go on to say, I love my coworkers. I love If it's from home, you would say, I love that it's a work from home opportunity. Or if it's an office, you would say you love your new office, you love the people around you, you love the free breakfast. Just make a story that revolves around you already having it. You don't necessarily have to know how it's going to happen. I always tell people don't worry about it because that's not your job. That's your subconscious's job to figure that out. What you need to focus is on what it is that you want. Ooh, what time is it? I always have this thing where I have to look at the time because if anyone knows me, I hate being late to things. I'm usually never late to anything. Okay. Let's see. What do you think of Neville Goddard saying to see something that's coming instead of already happened? They work either way. I've had success saying something is going to happen, and I've had success saying things have already happened. It's just a matter of preference. How do you do sats? I'm not someone that's very big on sats. I rather do a lot of my manifestation while I'm awake. But basically, sats is you sleeping to the idea or the visualization of something already having happened in your reality. Let's see. I'm gonna answer questions on my phone, so if you see me look down, that's why. Hello. Can you give me some tips? What do you need help with? Yep, there you go. I'm your manifestation. What do you do for a living? I do YouTube, I do coaching. I also have other investments that I don't necessarily always talk about on here, but I have outside investments that I do. How about a time crunch? My SP and I are scheduled to go on a trip next Thursday, but we got into a fight and he said he's not going. The trip is all paid for. I hate manifesting on a time crunch, but if you really have to, I would say just ignore what he just said. Ignore what he said, affirm that he's so happy to be going. You can even revise that the fight never even happened. You guys are excited to be going together. You guys are so happy to have communication during this time. He's more than happy to talk to you about any trip issues or anything regarding the trip. He's always talking to you about how excited he is. Basically, just tell the new story about how happy he is that he's going on vacation with you. Alright, guys, I'm going to answer one more. But if you didn't get your question answered, I'm so sorry. But just know I do have coaching, conjuredrealm.com. Go visit my website if you need more help, and we can book something together, and you can have more one-on-one time with me. Let's see. One that can help many people. Are subliminals great to manifest appearance changes. I think subliminals in general are really, really good, especially if you go to like the people who know what they're doing and how to make subliminals. I feel like if you get a subliminal that's very loud and rowdy and rambunctious, that kind of defeats the purpose of a subliminal. I feel like subliminals are more so to ease new affirmations into your subconscious. So when they're super, super loud, I wouldn't always recommend those. Some people like them. I personally don't. But if you go to a creator who makes subliminals that's like very relaxing and very easy to listen to, I think those would be more beneficial. But subliminals really do work. I've had a couple instances where I've gotten really good results with them. So I recommend them. I recommend them, especially when you're sleeping. They're really good, or like when you're studying, or like when you're doing any kind of work. Subliminals are a great thing to supplement your journey. But I hope you guys enjoyed this live with me. Again, if you guys want coaching, come to my website, conjurerealm.com. Book your coaching through there. We can have more one-on-one time. If you didn't get your questions answered, I am so sorry. But I do lives all the time, so don't worry. This won't be the last one. Yes, please like this video for me. I will greatly appreciate it. Yeah, book coaching if you guys haven't already. I have a lot of spots available. And let's get your things manifested. Let's help you start living the dream that you've always wanted. I've done it. A lot of my clients have done it, and I know you can do it too. So get coaching with me. I promise you won't regret it. People email me all the time how much of an investment it is to get coaching, and I honestly really agree. There's no other best investments other than ones that pertain to working on you. So if you can get it, I highly, highly do recommend it. But yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Maybe under this video, leave comments on any type of videos you guys want me to make in the future. I'm going to start recording more, but let me know. All right, guys. Happy manifesting.